Hey guys, Witless here, reporting to you from my very messy apartment. I'm trying to cover it as much as possible using the screen, but if you see any clutter or laundry or whatever, what have you around, anything that displeases your eye, I'm sorry. I'm very tired and I didn't have time to clean it. And the reason I am tired is because I went to Kanji this weekend. It was loads of fun, and I thought what would be great would be to just sort of get my thoughts out on it while it's still fresh in my brain. Um, I tried to do this last night actually, but I could not get a coherent thought out. So we're trying this again, and I'm keeping a very close eye out on the time. So hopefully I can do this all in one go, and it'll be great, it'll be intense, it'll be rough, but it'll be amazing! So let's do it! Okay. Already, this sucks. So Kanji, I actually only went on the Saturday. On Sunday, I went to the University of Guelph, and I still have a few friends who live around the area, and Sunday I kind of just spent actually visiting with them. Saturday I spent at the convention, and it was a blast. That's actually my overall report. I had a blast. It was great. Kanji was actually a bit of a different experience for me because it wasn't quite as new, and I was a bit more comfortable with it, and a couple other reasons which we'll get into. So, yeah, it was great. The first and foremost reason I went actually was because my friends were going. A few of the guests there are my friends, so like My Cherie, Dr. Holocaust, Featherweight, Video Ninja, and then a couple of my other friends, Andy, Victoria, Brian, a couple others I'm probably forgetting. It was great to meet up with them again and just to hang out in another nerdy setting. My Cherie was wearing her shy costume, which was adorable. Yes. And, Brian had a great How to Train Your Dragon costume as well. It was great. And I actually brought a couple of new friends with me to the convention, or a couple of friends who'd never been to a convention. My friends Matt and Jeff, and I think it was a bit overwhelming for them at first, just because, and as it should be with all the waves of geek flying at you. It was a bit weird actually because I'd only been to one before, but because I had just that little bit more experience, they kind of looked at me like a grizzled war vet when it came to conventions. Like, I brought snacks, I knew how to navigate things. It was weird, but it was fun. Actually, poor Matt. My friend Matt, I dragged him to a theater makeup panel like right off the bat, and as soon as we got there, and 20 minutes into his first convention, they drag him up for a demonstration, and it was hilarious. It was like I said, it was theater makeup, so they did makeup on his face, but they only had time for half his face. So he was wandering around the convention for a little while with like half a vampire face on. He eventually took it off, and I felt kind of bad, but I think it was all in good fun and everything. So that was pretty funny. Um, yeah, like it was like Con Bravo in that there was a little bit of everything. It's advertised as an anime convention, but there's still a little bit of everything that anyone can enjoy, anyone nerdy. So yeah, there were a few guests here this time around. Like again, there was another draw for me. There was another reason I went to the convention, which was that the Channel Awesome people were there again. Except this time around, it was Mars Girl and it was Juwario, who I don't watch quite as religiously as the Nostalgia Critic and Spoonie and whatnot, but I still watch their shows and I enjoy them. So I thought, yeah, why not? I'll go and I'll get some stuff signed by them. The big draw, however, and this is why a lot of people ended up going to the convention, was because there was a voice actor there named Andrea Littman, and she was only announced a month ago. And she's a voice actor for the show My Little Pony, the new My Little Pony. If you haven't heard of it or seen it, look it up. It's a show that I have trouble admitting that I watched because it's hard to admit that you watch My Little Pony, but it's actually a good show. It's a kid's show. Keep that in mind. It is a kid's show through and through, but it has some legitimately hilarious moments, and I'm really enjoying it. My friend, like a few of my friends, are absolutely obsessed with it, and that was their main reason for going to this convention, or the main reason they were really excited for this convention. So she was kind of the big draw. There was also Kylie Bear, who does voice work on Dragon Ball Z and a few video games as well. And there was another voice actor there who I can't remember the name of, and I can't be bothered to even dig out my program to look that up. But, whatever. I'm sorry. Yeah, she was the big main draw, and there was a lot of ponies there that weekend as a result. There was a lot of pony talk, pony panels, like whatever, what have you. It was kind of funny. Um, yeah, though it was great though. I mean, I was there for the Channel Awesome people though, and I ended up meeting them, which was fun, and they ended up being like insane. Well, you couldn't meet two nicer people actually. They were great. They were happy to be there. They signed my program, no problem. I chatted with them a bit. It was great. I loved meeting them. I didn't meet the voice actors mostly because, like I said, I wasn't there for them, and I didn't really want to take the spot in line of someone who was actually a real fan of them. For those of you who don't know My Little Pony actually, but might know Reboot, Andrea Littman also did the voice of young Andrea when Reboot was on. So that's a voice that you might be able to connect with her. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, a lot of fun. I got a lot done there. I went and saw my friends' panels. My Cherie did one on. I saw one of hers on distressing and aging, and again, like it was really interesting. I love. My friends are insanely talented, and I love it when I can see them talk about their passions, and it is really interesting. Like just learning the different things, like how they discovered how to distress things, or how they discovered how to make the costumes that they make. I peeked in on Dr. Holocaust's like 201 villainy panel. That was a lot of fun. It was very funny. He's a very funny guy, and he had a full panel, which is always fun. I went to my friend Devin's puppet making panel, which was also great fun. And really interesting. Again, he actually did. He made a puppet, a hand puppet, in 2 hours in front of everybody, and kind of explained his process of doing that. And he actually did pull me up at one point, and I feel kind of bad because he wanted me to be his assistant because Jen was his assistant, but she had to leave, so he pulled me up, and I was pretty useless. I tried to banter a bit. I tried to, you know, I feel bad, but next time, if there is a next time, I'll be more prepared for it. But I think I was just so flabbergasted that he was asking me to come up that I just sort of, and I was enthralled with what he was doing. It was hard to talk when I was actually really interested in what he was sewing and that kind of thing. And yeah, but like I said, lots of fun, a lot of glue fumes, but lots of fun. What else? I'm looking down. Oh yeah, I also went to another fun highlight of the con for me actually was the Dragon Ball Z roast, and it was basically Kylie Bear who does the voice, like I said, does the voices of Dragon Ball Z. He was doing basically a RiffTrax or a Mystery Science Theater 3000 treatment of the Dragon Ball Evolution movie, the live-action Dragon Ball movie, which sucked, and it was hilarious. And to the credit of the audience, actually, they actually didn't. He said, don't say anything, please don't yell anything out. He was doing it live with a microphone, and he said, this is me roasting, not everybody roasting, and he said, like, I have a script and it's timed, and everybody listened, and I really liked that, because that's one of the things I kind of dread about panels sometimes, is the hecklers and the people who just want to be funny, and it ends up taking away from the experience. So the fact that everybody kind of quieted down and let him do his thing. It was great. I loved it. And then I ended up going to a room party to meet up with some friends. And again, that was loads of fun. I love hanging out with you guys. It's great. And so yeah, overall, this was a great con. It was smaller than Con Bravo, a little bit smaller, still a bit packed because of the pony thing, obviously. But I feel like it had a different feel to it. It was a lot more laid back, I found, which was a good thing and a sort of bad thing as well. For one, I think because the Channel Awesome people weren't the focus of this one, because Andrea Littman was. Like, in Con Bravo, Doug, the Spoonie, Angry Joe, because they were the headliners, if they weren't doing panels or signing, they were off in their rooms resting and kind of avoiding people because they couldn't go 5 feet without getting accosted, which, I mean, it's a convention. That's what happens. It's only natural. But with this one, because the voice actors were kind of the focus, Juwario and Mars Girl, it was actually a lot more relaxed for them, I think. I think the pressure was off for them a bit. They were wandering around, they were poking in on panels, they were talking to people, it was great. It just felt a lot more relaxed than Con Bravo, actually. But in some ways it was because, actually this isn't a negative, this is just me nitpicking. It was because there wasn't really such thing as a lineup for the panels. If you wanted to go into a panel, like, you did line up, but you didn't really, there weren't any pre-formed lines or anything. There wasn't anyone around to tell you where to line up. And because of that, like, I would start a line for a panel, for instance, and I'd be the first one there. And then someone else would come along, and they'd start their own line on the other side of the hallway, and then someone else would come along, and they'd start their own line on the other side of the doorway, and it ended up being, like, just a big mass of people, and when that happens, people start to get edgy, and people start to get shifty-eyed and cockeyed and nervous, and that's when I start getting my TTC face on, which means I am looking to who I have to elbow when it finally comes time to cram into the doorway, and how do I get to that seat really fast? And I hate thinking like that. It's very stressful, and I tend to get very aggressive when it comes to that stuff. It's the only time I am aggressive, when I'm on the TTC. So in that sense, I don't think it was because, like, of any lack of effort on the convention's part. I think it was actually just because they didn't have enough volunteers. Because the volunteers that were there, when they did come by, they tried to do some organization. They were working their asses off. I think, they could have used more volunteers. That was all. And that's the only real thing the other thing was I didn't get to go to my voice acting panels that I wanted to go to, because, like, the lineups were insane for that. And I kind of wanted to, because I really actually need advice on voice acting. And so it kind of made me feel sad that, people who were just there to see the voice actor as opposed to actually getting advice, that kind of, whatever. I'm running out of time! I bought stuff as well. So I have 2 pins here, the Wheatley and the Reboot pin. I'm a Guardian, as per usual. I also got a couple of pins here, smaller ones. I got these for free. Actually, I got all the small pins for free. These I got for free because I got a t-shirt with this one, and this is Juwario's pin, which was kind of awesome. I also got a Gur pin that Devin gave me because he happened to be buying them. I got these fancy schmancy Ninja Turtle earmuffs. These I actually got from Dan. He got them for free at a panel, and he didn't want them, which I don't know why not. They're cool. I like it. And of course, I can't leave a convention without getting a nerdy shirt of some sort, so this time around, I decided to go I decided to go all Back to the Future, and if you don't get this reference, freaking watch the movie. So yeah, I'm very excited to wear this t-shirt. I don't know where I'm going to wear it next, but I'm going to wear it soon. Like I said, overall, the convention was great. I did actually, and I learned a couple of things from it. One thing I learned was that I need to get business cards. I was actually introduced to a couple of people this time around, and they would always say, "Oh, here's my business card," and I'd kind of have to respond with, "That's great, my name's Manda," which is not professional. So that I kind of learned that, and kind of as a side note to that, I need to learn how to promote myself more. I need, and by that I mean just talk about my work and be willing to plug myself, because I was actually given a couple of opportunities this weekend to do it, and I took the coward's way out. I chickened away, I shied away. And to those of you who did give me those opportunities, who did sort of open it up, thank you. Like I said, I just gotta learn how to plug myself more and not be ashamed of it. So yeah, overall, thank you guys. I had a really fun time. Hope to do another convention this summer, and yeah, it was lots of fun. And I'm now gonna go back to work and work on projects, which I'm up to my eyeballs in projects right now, so now I can focus back on those. And I have to eat because I'm really hungry. I hope that wasn't too painful. Bye!